Hello everybody, my name is Jacob and I'm a Children's Reference Assistant at Peoria Public Library's North Branch. And so welcome to Tiny Tots. And so like every Tiny Tots, we're going to go ahead and read a story. But before we read our story, we're going to go ahead and say hello. So we're going to get our hands ready and sing our first song. So our opening song always starts with just us saying hello. And we do 2 refrains of it, so we'll sing through it twice. And so it kind of goes like this the first time. So if you don't know it, feel free to listen and then join in on the second time. So it goes, hello, hello, it's time to say hello. So sit right down and say hello, 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 hello. It's time to say hello. So sit right down and say hello, hello, hello. All right, good job everybody. Now that we all said hello, I want to introduce this story that we're going to read today. So today's story is called Danila's Day of the Dead. And so we're going to read this story today because actually November 2nd is Day of the Dead, which is a holiday. So it's also celebrated on November 1st. And it's a holiday that is usually celebrated in Mexico and Latin America. And I thought, what better way to celebrate that than to read a story about it. So we'll go ahead and get started and learn all about this beautiful holiday. So, hi, I'm Danila. I can't wait for Day of the Dead, my grandpa's favorite holiday. It's important in Mexico. My grandpa and grandma used to live there. Now my family lives in the United States, but we still celebrate this holiday. For Day of the Dead, we remember people who have died. One of my school friends thinks it sounds sad, but Grandpa always said it is a happy time. This year, I'm remembering Grandpa. He died a few months ago. I really miss him, but Mama says Grandpa will be back to visit us on Day of the Dead. I won't see him, but I'll know he's here. Mama's letting me help make our ofrenda, or altar. It's for Grandpa and other family and friends who have died. That's where we put Day of the Dead things. Grandpa's picture helps us remember him. He'll like seeing his favorite hat on me. Mama and I pick out sugar skulls at the market. We also buy funny little skeletons. This skeleton is playing a guitar like Grandpa. We buy bread of the dead from the baker, which is also called pan de muertos. I love it, yum, but I'll be sure to leave lots for Grandpa on the altar. He loved it too. On Day of the Dead, we visit the cemetery. We clean Grandpa's grave. We leave marigolds for him too. I'll put some on his altar as well. See, they put little flowers called marigolds on the altar to celebrate his life and lead him back home. Lots of family members come to visit later. Everyone tells funny stories, especially about Grandpa. I laugh until my belly aches, or maybe that's because I ate too many tamales. Day of the Dead is almost over. Then I'm going to keep Grandpa's hat in my room. He'll look for it on the altar again next year. The end. All right, so that was a lot. That was a really good story, but there was a lot of information in there. And so I printed off some pictures real quick just to tell you about it a little bit more in detail. So they talked about the marigolds that they put on their grandpa's grave, and they put those on the grave and the ofrenda, or their altar. And so the marigolds are they're a flower that looks like this, that's native to Mexico, and they're orange and fluffy. So they're really pretty. And they kind of represent the fragility of life, but they also guide the spirits back to their home to celebrate on Day of the Dead with their family. So that's what they were talking about when they said marigolds. That's why they were on their grave. And then another thing they talked about was the bread of the dead. And so the bread of the dead's really cool because it kind of has a cross in the middle and it has a bunch of sugar all over it, and it's a sweet bread that they make to celebrate and eat during the Day of the Dead celebrations. And they also put that on the altars. And then the last thing that they mentioned was the sugar skulls. So they're not supposed to be scary. So if it is scary, I'm sorry, but it's actually supposed to be a celebration of life. And they represent all the departed family members in their family. And it's supposed to celebrate and say that they're still alive. So it's not scary at all. Nope. It's supposed to be happy. So now that we know all those new terms, we're going to sing some songs as well. So I figured to better understand the sugar skulls, which was right here, to better understand those, we can sing a song that kind of sounds like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but it's called Twinkle Twinkle Sugar Skulls, or Sugar Skull. And so it kind of goes like this. It goes, twinkle, twinkle, sugar skull, hope you know you're beautiful, representing all our family, vibrant colors, oh so many. Twinkle, twinkle, sugar skull, hope you know you're beautiful. So I hope that song helped you understand why they make sugar skulls. And then the next song we're going to sing kind of sounds like Row, Row, Row Your Boat. So if you know that song, that's the rhythm we're going to go to this one. And this one talks about the marigolds and kind of also tells us a little bit more about them. So it goes, orange, orange marigolds, guiding all the spirits back to their families gathered at the ofrenda. All right. So those are all the songs we're going to sing today. That's the story that we read. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new today. It's such a beautiful holiday that I hope that you can either appreciate or that maybe you're celebrating today. And I hope that this was fun for you. And feel free to share in the comments any other new information that you have that your family might do for Day of the Dead or that you think is cool about Day of the Dead. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end our story time with our goodbye. So we always say goodbye at the end. And so it's like the hello, but instead of saying hello, we say goodbye. So it goes, goodbye, goodbye. It's time to say goodbye. So stand right up and say goodbye, 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 goodbye. It's time to say goodbye. So stand right up and say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. All right, goodbye, everybody, and happy Day of the Dead.